they'll get in time and time again like they did. Wonderful finishing, but I'm just frustrated and disappointed that we've put on a defensive display like that because it wasn't good enough.
I think sometimes you do shadow play as a manager and coaches, and you put 4 mannequins out as making it the back 4. You're working on something else. It might be midfield play, but you put 4 mannequins out and they they're still, aren't they? Yeah. And that's how they defended. The back 4 was just still, and it didn't matter if there was any, like Franny said, if there was any pressure on the ball. You know what? I don't know what it is, but the Champions League final, Bayern Munich, they defend like that, but they go back in when there's no pressure on the ball. But they got caught out a few times. So I don't know whether it's a trend that clubs want to do, but they've got to get it right.
Well, where it was bad for Southampton, it was great for Spurs, 2 of them in particular. And I've actually just seen over the other side of the pitch, Sonny and Harry Kane making their way over to speak to Lindsay. So let's go live over there right now. Lindsay, the floor is yours.
Thanks very much, Shay. Guys, congratulations. Sonny, first Premier League hat-trick, 4 goals today, a man of the match performance. You look like you're on a personal mission out there today.
No, I mean, it's incredible to score 4 goals in the Premier League. Is a big honour. Obviously, I scored 4 goals, but without the team and with this guy, 4 amazing assists and score 1 goal, I think he deserved man of the match for me today.
Harry, 4 assists. You're the first player to assist the same goal scorer 4 times in the Premier League. Another record for the collection there. Were you happy to be the provider today before you got your own?
Yeah, definitely. We spoke before the game. We knew there was going to be space in behind, and we was talking to Sonny about getting in there if I dropped deep, and one of the passes I didn't even really look. I knew he'd be running in behind, so it was just about putting it in the space. So it's a connection we've obviously been building up for a while now. So it was nice to see him finish him off, and obviously proud of him for his first hat-trick and obviously 4 goals as well.
You talk about that connection. That's now 24 goals since you came to the Premier League, Sonny, that you two have combined for. Do you feel like you've got a bit of a telepathic understanding now, the two of you?
No, I think we were working almost now 5 seasons together, so we know what we like, and obviously H is one of the best striker, and then normally when I pass easy pass and he scores sometimes the amazing goals, but obviously, like I said before, we were working together so many times, and we know what we like, and we work so hard for have a good relationship on the pitch and off the pitch as well. So, but it's for me a big honor play with this amazing guy, and I have many more to come.
And they had chances in the first half. We're on top. Did you know just how significant the timing was of that first goal, the equaliser?
No, I think it was very important, especially before ended the first half. So I think we struggled first half a little bit, and we didn't play well what we wanted. But obviously the equaliser was very, very important to come back in the second half very strongly, and I think we deserve win. And when you look at the second half, and we had it's a bit shame not score more than 5 goals.
And just finally, Harry, a couple of exciting additions to the squad this week. How much are you personally looking forward to seeing how you two combine with Gareth Bale on the pitch when he's ready?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great to have Sergio and Gareth with us. Obviously, we have a lot of games, a busy schedule for the next couple of months, so we're going to need the whole squad. So, everyone knows Gareth, how good he is, goals, assists. So, look, we've got great competition for places in that area. I'm sure he'll be excited to get back out and play for Spurs, and hopefully we can score 5 most games and keep up the winning run.
Congratulations.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very good. If you want an insight into a winning mentality, it's Sonny saying they should have scored more. I mean, let's remember they had 2 narrowly disallowed as well.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it could have been a cricket score in many ways, but I think a lot of it's due to the way Franny was saying about the way Southampton have defended. It's like schoolboy defending. You cannot defend like that at top level, at Premier League level, and expect one-on-ones with your goalkeeper. You're expecting your goalkeeper to deal with one-on-ones all the time. It's just not on. So they've got to relook at that. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Which, by the way, they did after the 9-0. They bounced back impressively after that.
They certainly did, yeah.
And we've had chances there to have scored earlier in the game as well. It's those fine margins again, sort of when you grab those key moments in games can make such a big difference. But to end up sort of on the end of that kind of result was simply not good enough.
I'm not sure any of us were expecting it after the first half that we had. It felt at that point that Southampton were the unlucky ones. They weren't unlucky though at the full-time whistle. Spurs absolutely deserving the win in the end, and it was conclusive. Let's just show you the way the table looks. I know it's early days, but it's always nice to take a look at how the table sits, particularly if you're on the blue half of Merseyside. Everton remain top. Arsenal also back-to-back wins, as have Crystal Palace. They've surprised a few people. Tottenham, though, they needed this one, didn't they, after defeating their opening match? They move up to 5th in the table. Down towards the bottom, though, you can see that for Southampton, they're in the bottom 3 alongside West Ham, Fulham and West Brom. Those are the 4 teams who've played 2 games so far without picking up a single point.
Jose, congratulations. How pleased are you with the way you fought back after a difficult first half to win so emphatically?
Yeah, I think the second half was really good. We didn't start bad. Of course, the goal was disallowed by offside, but we start quite well. But then we lost control of the game in the first half. That two strikers create us problems. We couldn't control them very much. We conceded the goal. That is a replica of a goal that we conceded last season here, with a long ball behind our defenders, and Ings winning that duel. Second half, great dynamica, good impact from the 2 players coming from the bench, very similar to Plovdiv. I just love the player that comes from the bench with a special attitude to help the team. I think Gio and Lamel, they did that. Then Sonny was on fire, and for me, Harry Kane, I know that people will tell me I'm silly in my analysis, but for me, Harry Kane, man of the match, because of what he did for the team. Sometimes people think striker is to score goals. Strikers is also to give big dynamic to the attacking organization, and with him dropping back and connecting the game in between the lines, for Sonny to attack spaces, we create them problems that they couldn't resolve.
And you talked about the performance of Gio when he came on. Can you tell us about the decision at half-time to bring off Ndombele, because he was very much involved in that equaliser just before half-time?
Yeah, but football is not just about one action, and to be honest, 3 or 4 players with yellow cards, for us only Tanguy, but for them Romeo and a couple of 2 more players with yellow cards, I think were pros. And I felt in the second half, with the game a little bit broken, for Tanguy would be a risk. Was a risk also for them. In fact, Romeo was very close to get the second yellow card. That's why Ralph changed him during the game. I decided to change Tanguy also because I knew that Gio would give us a little bit more, because he's in a better condition than Tanguy. So for me, Harry dropping in between the lines, plus the dynamic that Gio gave us in midfield in the second half, we were too good for them.
It's one of those days where we need ear defenders and 2 man of the match trophies.
Yeah, I mean, 2 outstanding performances, wasn't it? Could have gone quite differently. You know, we've just heard Jose talking about how the first half went. Southampton taking the lead, having chances. Spurs not really being on their game in the first 45 minutes, and just seeing how clinical and dangerous, you know, that combination of players, Kane, Moura, and especially Son here today, with the excitement of the new signings coming in as well. So yeah, it's exciting for Spurs at the moment, but from a Southampton perspective, obviously very disappointing.
It's a large pitch. They could have started mowing the lawn in the far corner. I think the ground staff are taking out their frustration of the result today on us. So while they do this, hopefully you can still hear us, and let's get into the goals, because it really was an absolute master show. There was a lovely moment where I was watching a legend with his eyes on a master out on the pitch there as Harry Kane pulled the strings. And you can understand why Jose Mourinho said he could have been man of the match.
Yeah, he threw that one in, and Sonny even said, didn't he himself, bless him, he should have been man of the match. But this is an absolute, you know, the goals were terrific goals. They really were. That was Ndombele, which was the best bit he did in the first half. But it was Kane again that set Son 3. And I said at half-time that it's a first-time pass, and twice they've been caught out on the offside by fractions because the ball was held. But if you're playing first-time football, it's very difficult to play teams offside. And I think that was the difference. And again, what a finish from Son. He just keeps a steady head. And this lad, doesn't matter if it's on his right side or his left side, he's confident to play off both feet.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's that forward passing as well. And and Kane towards him quite naturally. But when he's able to slide those kind of passes through for Son, making the runs that he does, look, the Southampton defending's not great here, to be honest. But look at the movement from Spurs, and Son especially. You know he's got pace, you know he's got calm and composure in front of goal as well. And he tucked away all of his goals today extremely well.
As a manager, Glenn, Ralph Hasenhuttl has to find another way, doesn't he? Because when a team is working out how to get in behind you as easily as this, you have to change it.
Well, you can perhaps stay on a high line when the ball's at a distance, a long way away. But Spurs, you know, Harry was dropping off and getting 5 or 6 yards from the last line. You're going to be picked off. You know, if it's 20 yards, 30 yards, you can hold that line and you can get back in there. But they've got to actually go towards their own goal at times to defend it and run with runners and with players. But it's too easy. This is a magnificent pass. Look, one glance, that is top quality. And a great finish again, 1v1 for Son.